Spiritual development plays an important part in the making of a United States Marine. Lieutenant Junior Grade Alicio Morales, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, will deliver the graduation prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Let us pray. Mighty One, we thank you for your continued presence here today. We give you thanks for these young men who came in as recruits and are leaving as Marines. Through their hard work and perseverance, they now join the family ranks of the finest fighting force on earth. Within each and every one of them lies a war-fighting spirit of a Marine that never gives up, no matter the odds. We give you thanks for the friends and family who provided support through thoughts, prayers, and letters of recommendation. May they rejoice in this great celebration. We give you thanks for these drill instructors, for they have made Marines. Through their leadership, discipline, and sacrifice, they have instilled within them the honor, courage, and commitment woven into the very fabric of this Corps. It is because of them that these new Marines can live out the great traditions to always be faithful, first to fight, and most ready when the nation is least ready. They are now truly the fighting spirit of this nation. We give you thanks for your continued blessings, and we ask that you continue to watch over this Corps and this great nation. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. The Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, welcomes you to what is a historic event in the life of a Marine, their graduation from boot camp. Approximately 40 weeks each year for the past 100 years, new Marines have departed San Diego for service, with units of the Marine Corps around the globe. The primary mission of the Recruit Depot is to provide basic training to recruits enlisted west of the Mississippi, which represents approximately 51% of all applicants in the Marine Corps each year. The depot is also home to Recruiter School and Drill Instructor School. All our efforts here are geared toward one end: producing America's finest fighting force, the United States Marines. This morning, Company M, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment, will form and march in the parade. Following the pass and review, the graduating Marines will return front and center of the reviewing stand for final dismissal. The staff for today's parade is comprised of Marines from the Recruit Training Regiment. The commander of troops is Gunnery Sergeant Lonnie D. Sowers, Company First Sergeant, Company M, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion. The parade adjutant is Staff Sergeant Kyrie N. Pilham, Drill Instructor, Company M, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment. The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, sound adjutant's call, will begin today's parade. Marching in today's parade are 303 of the graduating Marines from Company M. Amongst the 303 Marines are 2 Marines who displayed outstanding performances in 2 individually graded events. Private Nathan E. Achenbach from Platoon 3271 is the company high shooter, scoring a 345 out of 350. PFC Vincent J. Quinones from Platoon 3175 is the most physically fit Marine, scoring a 300 out of 300 in both the physical fitness test and combat fitness test. They will be receiving an award from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. Also present today is the Company Honor Graduates Recruiter, Sergeant Gabriel C. Newton. Not present today, but worth recognizing, is the primary marksmanship instructor with a platoon high shooting average of 223 for Platoon 3275, Sergeant Jimmy J. Washington. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguish them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of a state of discipline which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well as the proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others toward excellence in common goals. For 245 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever the nation calls, in the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies. Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Though battlefields change and capabilities evolve, history proves that true victory comes from the individual Marine with steel resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight on against all odds. It takes that steadfast faithfulness, semper fidelis, to corps, country, and each other that abounds throughout our storied legacy. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be the most ready when the nation is least ready, to defend freedom anytime and anywhere, to stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters, to pay tribute to those who have forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of Company M, today marks the end of the 13-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton and on this parade day, and have been trained, as are all Marines, as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intense physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the recruit depot. They are Marines, qualified to take their place in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade. The next portion of the ceremony will be our national anthem. We welcome veterans and members of the armed forces to join us in rendering appropriate honors with a military salute. For guests who have not served in the military, it is proper etiquette during the national anthem to place their right hand over their hearts, and for those in the audience wearing headgear, to remove it. Will the guests please rise for the presentation of the colors? Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Following the command, parade rest, the parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward of the assembled Marines, while playing military marching music. The parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops. At the command, Officer Center March, all unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Throughout our nation's history, millions of men and women have earned the title United States Marine. Many who have helped shape our history join us here today. In keeping with the tradition of once a Marine, always a Marine, we would like to recognize them. At this time, those in the audience who have served as Marines, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for their dedicated service to Corps and country. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, delivering today's graduating speech on behalf of 3rd Recruit Training Battalion is the Battalion Commander for Support Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Tracy A. Maesi.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commanding General of the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, and the Western Recruiting Region, Brigadier General Jason Morris, as well as the Commanding Officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, Colonel Joseph Jones, it is my honor to welcome you to today's graduation ceremony for Company M and the centennial celebration in honor of all former Depot Sergeants Major. I'd like to begin my comments by recognizing a few key groups of individuals. First and foremost, to the family and friends of the young men standing tall behind me, I offer you my sincere gratitude. You gave them the courage and commitment to take the initial steps in becoming a United States Marine, and you prepared them for everything that they would face here at Recruit Training. During their childhood, and their young adult years, you built within each of them a solid foundation that we continued to build upon here at Recruit Training. It took courage to sign a contract with a recruiter, and it took courage to step on yellow footprints, and it took courage to overcome everything that they would face here at Recruit Training, and they were well prepared for it because of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to thank you for the love and support that you gave your Marine during their time here. Your unwavering support was absolutely vital to their success. Seated to the right-hand side of the parade reviewing stand are the family and friends of the Mike Company officers and drill instructors. Families, thank you for your sacrifices. No one knows more than you the incredible time, energy, and effort it takes to transform a civilian into a basically trained Marine. And you kept the home front on track that allowed your Marine to perform their mission that was vital to the security of our nation and the success of our Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask everyone here today to join me in a round of applause for the family and friends of the Mike Company officers and drill instructors. And now, it is my honor and my privilege to introduce to you today's parade reviewing officials, the former Depot Sergeants Major. Representing all of the former Depot Sergeants Major here today are 6 gentlemen who served here as the Recruit Depot Sergeant Major from 1994 to 2013. Their leadership, professionalism, and example has left an indelible mark on countless drill instructors and basically trained Marines. Shortly, you will hear their impressive biographies. Sergeants Major, welcome to today's ceremony. It is an honor to have you here. The enormous responsibility of making Marines is truly a team effort. And at the forefront of this effort are the hard-working recruiters that are scattered throughout our great nation. We could not do our jobs here if it weren't for them finding qualified individuals who possess an unrelenting desire to earn their title as a United States Marine. Representing Western Recruiting Region here today is Sergeant Gabriel Newton, from RSS Kearney, Nebraska, whose hard work and effort gave PFC John Smith, Mike Company Honorman, the opportunity to earn his place in our ranks as a United States Marine. Private First Class Smith's hard work and performance during Recruit Training is a testament to Sergeant Newton's hard work. Job well done, Sergeant. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to direct your attention to the sharp-looking, physically fit, mentally tough group of intelligent Marines standing tall behind me. This group certainly needs no introduction, for they are the legendary drill instructor. From the moment your recruit gets here and steps on those yellow footprints, there is a drill instructor with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For the drill instructor is at the heart of everything it takes to transform a civilian into the basically trained Marine that you see standing today on Shepherd Field. Throughout our lifetimes, we will meet thousands of individuals, and unfortunately, many we will forget. But ladies and gentlemen, trust me when I tell you, you will never forget the name, the face, and the silky voice of that drill instructor. Following today's ceremony, I would encourage you to take a moment to meet the group of professionals that were responsible for transforming your loved one into a United States Marine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I will turn your attention to the 303 remarkable young men standing tall on Shepherd Field. When they arrived here, they were physically fit, though some more than others. They were 19 years on average and already in better shape than most people their age. 99% of them are high school graduates, and two have even earned their college degrees. But they demonstrated a courage and a commitment when they raised their right hand and they swore a solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution of our United States. They come from every expanse of this globe, and in this cases, they're from 5 different countries. They come from as far away as Germany, Cameroon, the Philippines, and Australia, and some, they are even our neighbors in sunny San Diego. But it was the pursuit of one single goal, that brought them here to Recruit Training. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the pursuit of the goal to earn the title Marine. And 3 months ago, they embarked on our nation's most tough, demanding entry-level training when they stepped off those buses and onto the historic yellow footprints. And throughout that time, they were undoubtedly tested. They were trained and evaluated in the Marine attributes that make our Corps unique and deadly. We developed within each of them a physical and mental toughness that despite all odds, they would never quit and they would never give up. And we thoroughly indoctrinated them in our core values of honor, courage, and commitment, making them Marines of exemplary character in peace and at war. We trained them in battlefield-tested war-fighting skills so that when our nation called, we would fight and we would win. And to make certain of that, we relied upon the highly capable primary marksmanship instructors of Weapons Field Training Battalion so that when your Marine arrived at his objective, he would be capable of delivering precision rifle fire against pinpoint targets at staggering distances of up to 500 yards. Representing Weapons Field Training Battalion here today is Sergeant Thomas Kelly, the primary marksmanship instructor for the company high shooter, Private Achenbach. Job exceptionally well done, Marines. I'd also like to recognize the drill instructors of Support Battalion, who greeted your Marine at the airport and received them on the historic yellow footprints. They trained them in close combat martial arts techniques, instructed them safely through an intensive water survival program, and taught them academic instruction. And when called upon to do so, they oversaw the successful rehabilitation and physical conditioning of the injured recruits so they could get back into the fight to train and earn their title as a United States Marine. And throughout this entire process, every drill instructor and every support personnel built within each Marine a small unit leader and tested their ability and their leadership ability and their ability to decide, communicate, and act with a bias for intelligent action, because, ladies and gentlemen, that is what our future operating environment demands. I'd like to ask that everyone here join me in a round of applause for the recruiters, the drill instructors, the primary marksmanship instructors, and support personnel that aided in the transformation of those Marines. Now, family and friends, when you get your Marine home, you will notice that we've installed a few upgrades. They stand a little taller, and your Marine looks a little thinner. They might even look you in the eye and say things such as, "Yes, sir," or "No, ma'am." Dads, your Marine has a job, and I assure you, you won't have to remind them to get a haircut. And moms, these young men know how to clean up after themselves, and I assure you, they know how to make their own beds. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to talk about the most significant change, and it is one that you cannot see. For this most significant change is one that occurred from within. During the past 12 weeks, we have thoroughly indoctrinated them in our core values of honor, courage, commitment, and by virtue of them standing here today, they have embraced these values as their very own. And it is because of that, ladies and gentlemen, because of the journey that they have been on, and because of their physical, mental, and moral development that they have gone through, that I'm now proud to introduce to you 303 young men who, through their own blood, sweat, and tears, are now proud to forever claim the title of a United States Marine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll excuse me for a moment while I address America's newest Marines. Good morning, Marines. Good morning, man. Hoorah! Ladies and gentlemen, that is pride. Pure pride. That is pride in themselves, pride in each other, and pride in the title that they have just earned. Marines, Lieutenant Colonel Ashenhurst, Sergeant Major Ramirez, Sergeant Major Dorsey, and I are exceptionally proud of you. When you arrived here 12 weeks ago, you were here as individuals, and over the course of recruit training, you transitioned into a United States Marine. You even completed the crucible in cohesive groups of physically fit Marines. When you stepped off those buses and onto those historic yellow footprints, your drill instructors focus on instilling discipline, resiliency, and our core values of honor, courage, and commitment in you until you demonstrated the Marine attributes of exemplary character and physical and mental toughness. And throughout your time here, you proved yourself capable of hiking long distances over mountainous terrain with minimal food and sleep, carrying heavy packs to be where you needed to be, when you needed to be, to accomplish your mission. And in your final test, during the grueling 3-day crucible exercise, you were tested on your leadership ability and the possession of the ability to decide, communicate, and act, because Marines, that is what our Corps demands. Every obstacle and every challenge you faced, you analyzed it, you attacked it, you overcame it, and through your tenacity, you earned yourself the title of a United States Marine. Remember that with a new title comes new responsibility. For the strength of our Corps is not in our weapon systems nor in our equipment, but it is the strength of the individual Marine and the character and spirit and warfighting spirit that sets us apart. That is what matters most in combat. For the legacy of our Corps is not just first to fight, but first to fight and to win. And that legacy, Marines, belongs to you now. The Eagle Globe and Anchor that was placed into your hand atop the Reaper represents the 245 years of Marines that have gone before us. That legacy is yours for safekeeping. Remember that, and always endeavor to be worthy of that legacy. Protect what you have earned. Marines, on behalf of the officers, drill instructors, sailors, civilians, and support personnel of the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, it is my honor and my privilege to be the first to wish you a fair winds and following seas. Semper Fidelis, Marines, and welcome to the Corps.
Now taking their position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing officials. The past Sergeants Major of Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego. They are accompanied by Sergeant Major Abel T. Liao, Sergeant Major for Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego and the Western Recruiting Region. "100 years ago, Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego was commissioned as a Marine barracks. To celebrate 100 years of making Marines and the legacy of the depot, today's parade reviewing officials are Marines who have served in the billet of Sergeant Major, Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, and the Western Recruiting Region. Today's parade reviewing officials are Sergeant Major Anthony Reese from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in September 1965. Sergeant Major Reese served as the Depot Sergeant Major from February 1994 to September 1995. He retired in October 1995. Sergeant Major Bruce A. McAmole from Wichita, Kansas. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in May 1973. Sergeant Major McAmole served as a Depot Sergeant Major from August 1999 to April 2003. He retired in June 2003. Sergeant Major Frank E. Pulley from Springfield, Tennessee. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in December 1976. Sergeant Major Pulley served as the Depot Sergeant Major from April 2003 to February 2006. He retired in April 2010. Sergeant Major Bobby Woods from Bolivar, Tennessee. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in December 1977. Sergeant Major Wood served as the Depot Sergeant Major from February 2006 to March 2008. He retired in March 2008. Sergeant Major Brian K. Jackson from Gary, Indiana. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in August 1980. Sergeant Major Jackson served as the Depot Sergeant Major from March 2008 to May 2010. He retired in August 2010. Sergeant Major Sylvester D. Daniels from Jackson, Tennessee. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in July 1982. Sergeant Major Daniels served as the Depot Sergeant Major from May 2010 to October 2013. He retired in February 2014. The current Depot Sergeant Major is Sergeant Major Abel T. Liao from Los Angeles, California. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in November 1993. He has served as a Depot Sergeant Major since July 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Sergeants Major.
Sir, the great fool. Aye, aye, sir. Stand, carry, fool.
More than 1 million Marines have been trained here in the past 100 years and have departed San Diego for combat and conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with the Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Busan, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, Quezon, Way City, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Fallujah, Marja, and our most current operations worldwide. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of Troops, Gunnery Sergeant Ronnie D. Sowers, Company First Sergeant, and the Regimental Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, as the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Series 3269. Series regimental color guard is led by Regimental Color Sergeant Drill Instructor Sergeant Nigel T. Tillman. Series 3273, Series Chief Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Max Escudia. Platoon 3273, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Anthony R. Brown.
Stand! Hey! Salute!
Platoon 3274, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Juan F. Piedra Castaneda.
Stand! Ready! Two! Running! Run!
Platoon 3275, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Taylor O. Smith. The Marines hymn has a history dating back to 1859. It is a long-standing tradition for Marines to face the direction of the music and stand at attention when it is heard. It is now directed that all Marines present and who have served honorably sing the words to the first verse as Marine Band San Diego performs the Marines hymn. Will the guests please rise? Although Company M prepares for the final dismissal. Thank you. Please be seated. From boot camp today, their initial training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Samuel W. Wise. The company first sergeant is Gunnery Sergeant Ronnie D. Sowers. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the company staff of Company M. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the guidons.
Guides! Center! March!
The guidons have been carried by the platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units in the Marine Corps carry such guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these guidons is bestowed upon those Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and character, and were selected as the platoon honor graduates. The platoon honor graduates compete for the titles of series and company honor graduate. They are considered the top Marines graduating today and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps. The guidons will now be returned to the drill instructors. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all honor graduates have been recognized. The honor graduates will be presented a plaque donated by the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. The honor graduate for platoon 3269 and the series honor graduate is Private First Class Nathan L. Istris-Voth from Sacramento, California. The honor graduate for platoon 3270 is Private First Class Evan I. Striffler from Roseville, California. The honor graduate for platoon 3271 is Private First Class Kai A. Blanchard from Cypress, Texas. The honor graduate for platoon 3273 is Private First Class Caden A. Prince from Bloomer, Wisconsin. The honor graduate for platoon 3274 and also the company honor graduate is Private First Class Damian Smith from Kearney, Nebraska. Is also the recipient of the Chesty Puller Award for his outstanding meritorious performance while in recruit training. And the honor graduate for Platoon 3275 is Private First Class Richard S. Cleveland from Petersburg, Nebraska. Ladies and gentlemen, the honor graduates of Company M.
First Sergeant! Aye, sir.
The company first sergeant will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training.